And then the heart of the beast is a 426 Hemi. So it's a Gen 3 Hemi. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up because it's just so American. I love this thing.
Everyone across the RestoMods nation, 3X entries for this 68 Camaro that Esparza is standing right in front of. 3X entries ends in just 2 days, y'all. This 68 LT4 powered Camaro is gonna go home to one lucky person, but get your best chance to get entries. 3X entries, that's triple entries, ending in just 2 days. And then after that, we head into the next multiplier, but this thing's gonna be gone soon. It's an incredible Camaro. I'm gonna flip the camera here so I can show you guys a little of this insane thing. I got Esparza right here to give you guys just a quick rundown on this thing.
Yeah, quick rundown. We won't do like a full build sheet because we've done one on this car, but the star of the show is the LT4. This thing also does have a great chassis. It has an Art Morrison subframe with all Corvette suspension stuff and a 6-speed, so it's fast, it handles good, it stops good with Wilwoods. It's fun to drive with the stick shift. This car checks all the boxes. It's got it all. So really excited that somebody's gonna get behind the wheel of this thing. This is one of the sportiest feeling cars that we've had with all the Corvette stuff. Basically, it's just a ton of Corvette technology in an old 68 Camaro. So,
yep. You guys just took this thing up to Autotopia LA. Sean drove it, and he thought it drove just like a modern Camaro, perhaps even better.
Yeah, it was super fun always shooting with those guys. But yeah, it's good to get someone else behind the wheel. And he had a ZL1 at one point, like the modern version of a Camaro with this engine. And this car just has a lot more character than a modern car. So that's kind of what we do. That's what makes it a RestoMod. You get this great classic look and all the best of the best for modern GM components.
That's right, you guys. And again, just quick reminder, 3X entries is ending in just 2 short days. We also got another pretty cool promo going. The first 20 people who make a purchase after this video gets posted will get a free Haggerty calendar. It's
first 20 people.
Yeah.
Get a free Haggerty calendar.
Yep, all they gotta do is just make a purchase.
Make a purchase, okay, cool.
And if you're one of the first 20, you will get a free Haggerty calendar. It's this year's calendar for the remainder of this year. We've got some pretty cool cars on there. I think our Chevelle was
silver Chevelle, which is not in here anymore. The silver Chevelle got delivered. It's back home with the winner, so she's super happy. She got the car. We got video of it being loaded and unloaded on the transport. Sad day for us. That car's been part of the RestoMods family for so long.
Yep.
So many of you guys like the car, which was amazing. That's what makes this all possible, is people getting invested in the builds and all that. So really cool to see that car finally go to a winner. The first time we gave it away, they took the cash option. This time the car is at another home now. So that's probably, I won't see that car for a long time because it's on the complete other side of the country in Iowa. But I would love to set eyes on that car again one day in the future. But in the meantime, we are not letting the line slack. We're picking up the slack by doing a bunch of other cool builds in here. As you can see, it's always full of RestoMods in here. How should we start? There's always blue. I never want to like skip over blue. It's our shop truck that's been around for a long time. It's got a Blueprint 427, QA1 full coilover suspension kit, Silver Sport 4L65E, FiTech fuel injection for everything. This thing went from being like just kind of a mild GMC truck, big Wilwood brakes too, I forgot about those, to getting carried away with the build process, and over time everybody kind of got involved in the shop, and now we have this badass shop truck that is kind of the go-getter, the parts getter. We take it to shows, to cruises. It's a burnout machine. Everyone loves getting behind the wheel of this, so blue is a good way for us to R&D some of these badass parts that
we got some videos of blue coming out soon, and I think because Jeremy and I took blue up to FiTech to get it dynoed, and blue's a ripper now.
This thing made some steam. That Blueprint 427 is no slouch. So that's the same 427 that was in the 69 Chevelle. That car just had a blower. This one is without the blower. It dynoed like 650 to the crank and over 500 to the wheels through an automatic on a naturally aspirated engine. So it's really, really cool in this truck.
Yep.
And then, so moving right along, we have a Hemi Cuda. This is a 70 Cuda. I don't know, you guys probably saw some of this in the videos of we bought this car and bring a trailer. And we've been going through just getting it ready. to be a giveaway car. So this car is sporting this 6.1 liter Hemi. It has now a whole new engine management system. So this is all Holley Terminator X Max stuff now. 5-speed manual transmission. We just recently took this car. I drove it, I think it was a day and a half. I drove this car like probably close to 200 miles in the desert in the heat, and it did great. It's got coilovers, disc brakes. The interior is really nice in this car. I love the interior. So this will be an upcoming giveaway. There's a lot of little details we've done to it since we bought it. Obviously wheels and tires, changed the stance, some fuel system stuff, some engine management stuff, cooling system stuff. We're probably going to be upgrading some more braking stuff. Rearview mirrors, the car didn't have any rearview mirrors. So little things like that we've made changes and just trying to develop the car a little bit from what it was when we bought it, so that it's ready, because this one's coming up soon. So if you have interest in this, keep your eyes peeled. It'll be soon.
Jumping back to Blueprint engines.
Right. So not as soon coming up on the docket, but this is a really killer build. This is the one that I'm almost most excited about because of the foundation. We built a lot of Chevelles, and I always wanted something with like the best chassis available. This is a Roadster shop FastTrack chassis. We had this 67 Chevelle. We bought a shell with the intent to just go crazy on a full build with it. We bought a really clean shell out of like the California desert basically area. And we took it to SV Body and Paint. They painted the whole thing this really cool Lexus Nori green. But before that, we basically mounted it to the chassis and started getting everything ready for what we were gonna do. So we mini tubbed this car to fit like a 335 wide rear tire in the back. We did a custom firewall to smooth that all out. We did like a nice little bulkhead for AC and heater fittings so that all will be hidden. And just got the trans tunnel dialed in. A lot of stuff to fit the drivetrain we were gonna do, which is another Blueprint 427. So reliable power plant here, basically. This is gonna make naturally aspirated horsepower, like in the 650 range. So this car is gonna get a 6-speed automatic transmission. So more gears, but still an automatic. And that chassis, the combo, we're trying to build like kind of the ultimate driving car. So in the past, we've had higher horsepower cars. The LT4 is 650 horse with a blower. This is 650 horse naturally aspirated. And then we've done stick shift, automatic. So basically, we're kind of combining everything on this car. So a really amazing chassis, a big power level, but naturally aspirated, so that it has like that chop and that big muscle car feel to it, but also high horsepower. And then an automatic transmission, but with a lot more gears, a 6-speed. So it'll be in the power band a lot better. It'll feel crisper. And I think that's all gonna contribute to the way this car drives and feels, being just way above and beyond a normal Resto mod. And that was kind of the goal with this. So we've been taking our time, planning things, doing everything right, and chipping away at it, and having a beautiful paint job, a nice chassis, a perfect engine with a warranty, a GM Performance Parts 6-speed transmission. I think this thing is really gonna come together in a way that it's gonna be a real special formula that is gonna be noticeable mostly when you get behind the wheel of this car. It's just gonna perform like at top notch, where you're not even gonna want a modern car. You're just gonna wanna be in this thing, and it's gonna look killer. These chassis, they sit good. It's gonna sound good. We're gonna do a really killer interior in it, and I think it's just gonna be the next level Chevelle. Gonna be hard to beat the silver one, but we're trying things.
Yeah, we're kind of building the ultimate cruiser and ripper all in one with this car.
And then back to Mopar. So this is a 70 Charger that we bought not too long ago as a complete running car with a big block and an automatic. It had a 440 and a 727. And we started going through like kind of our wish list on the car and where the car's condition was when we bought it. And it was a good driving car. From the place we bought it from, I was able to drive the car home probably 70 miles or so with no drama, no issues. But we can't leave anything alone here. So this car got a full QA1 tubular K-member. It got a QA1 4-link in the back. It's all coilovers all around. We did all this in-house before sending it to paint. We smoothed the firewall in the engine bay. Junior painted the firewall and engine bay in-house here. Trans tunnel, they went through and cleaned all the floor pans, cleaned them all of rust, pour 15 the floor pans. It's got all Dynamat and the trunk, the floors, The firewall everywhere basically is dynamitted to sound nice and tight in there, get away from all the rattles and creaks of an old car. We put subframe connectors in this car. This was a big thing. We used American Car Tool sells like a really comprehensive subframe connector kit that basically adds frame rails to the car. It ties in the whole front to the back of the car with a thick steel, essentially a frame rail. These cars need it. The chassis are kind of sloppy with these cars. This one got the full stiffening kit. So that paired with all the QA1 stuff, the 4-link, big Wilwoods, and then the heart of the beast is a 426 Hemi. So it's a Gen 3 Hemi. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up because it's just so American. I love this thing. So a Gen 3 Hemi, but the right displacement, that legendary 426 displacement in a Hemi. This is a Blueprint engine. We have a dyno sheet for this that's like 660 horse, I want to say. So they already dynoed this thing with a Holley computer control system. So we're going to plug all that back in. And they shipped it to us with a Tremec TKX, so the new 5-speed. And I'm really excited to get my hands on that new 5-speed. We got a pistol grip shifter. So this car went from being a big block automatic to a Gen 3 Hemi with 426 cubic inches and a 5-speed. I think this is going to give this car a real sporty feel. It's a big car, but coilovers, subframe connectors, a nice high revving 426 Hemi Gen 3 engine, and a 5-speed. I think it's going to change this car. And then the beautiful paint job. So once again, 911 restoration, SV body and paint came through. We delivered a car that had a red paint job. It was okay. It needed a lot of work. They did a ton of work to a really big car in a really short time. So shout out to those guys for knocking it out of the park for us. And we went with Viper Red. So what better, like on a Dodge Mopar product, than the best red that ever existed is Viper Red. So we chose Viper Red. You don't see a lot of these cars in red. So I think it's going to stand out. We're going to put a few custom touches on it. It's getting a set of wheels and tires. Will set the ride height and get this thing slammed back together. That's what Junior and Adrian are working on right now. So this thing is going back together Fast and Furious style. Like we're gonna jam on this. I think it's all hands on deck for a little while because we want to try and get this car to you guys early next year. So with the time frame, it's September 10th. So time is ticking. We got to get on it because once it's done, I want to drive it for a little bit. I want to put some miles on it, make sure everything's shaken down for everybody, and just experience what a 426 Gen 3 Hemi is like. I've never driven a car with a 426 Gen 3 Hemi. I want to see what that power band feels like, and just have some fun. So
still on the Mopar theme.
Still on the Mopar theme. This thing's been on the back burner for a while because it's a big project, and other stuff jumped ahead of it. So the Chevelle and this jumped ahead of it, but this is a 68 Mopar, 68 Charger that we bought from Mopar's 5150. So they went through, put all new sheet metal in the car. They did all the chassis stiffening stuff. So you'll see the core support. The frame rails are like built into the car with chassis stiffeners, torque boxes. That's another thing we did on the red one. It has torque boxes all around now. We welded in all that. That makes a huge difference. This car has all that and like perfect sheet metal, and it's gonna get that Hellcat. It's gonna get, obviously behind that in the box, all QA1 stuff. That's kind of been like a theme here, is like QA1, Gen 3 Hemi, and then whatever transmission you want to put behind it. But yeah, putting a 4-link coilovers, the K-member on these cars, for me, that's been a game changer. The last 68 Charger we gave away at the beginning of the year, it had that whole formula. So it had a big block with a 6-speed, which I really liked. I really liked that formula. But all the QA1 stuff, the 4-link, it just changed the car. The rack and pinion made it steer nice. I went on a drive on that car on a ride-along video, and it was, I think that's almost one of the longest ride-alongs I've actually like just kept driving the car, because the big block 6-speed, it was just humming along on the freeway, and it just felt so good to drive that car. I put like, I think I drove that car for over an hour on that ride-along video. The editors had to cut a lot of it, but I was just out for a cruise. So we're gonna build another one just with Hellcat power. And this has been backburnered, but I think in a couple months here, when we get a little more progress on, these are obviously two big major builds, we'll jump into that. And as if we didn't have enough going on, we started another build. This is a 70 Road Runner. We've been wanting to do a Road Runner or a GTX or something of that nature for you guys for a while. It's a Mopar body style that we haven't done. We've done Chargers, obviously. We've done E-bodies. But I like the Road Runners, and in my opinion, 70 is the best year. We bought what we thought was a pretty clean car. The best one we could find. It was actually local to us. Really cool car guy with a really cool collection. Yoshi, he let us buy this car off of him. He partnered with it, and it has a 383 with a 727. But the 383 is coming out, and actually the 440 that we pulled out of the Red Charger is going to be completely gone through, built with aluminum heads and everything, and we'll put the 440 in this big block car. We haven't decided. We're thinking automatic, but we haven't decided yet. And then same thing, QA1, and we just got it fully disassembled. So this was a full assembled running, driving car. We just took everything off that we need to paint the car. We found out during this assembly that this was not originally a B5 blue car. This was a green car. So the green actually looks really good too. This is one of my favorite Mopar colors, but with none of it being original, I think we're gonna go back to our old playbook of a black car. You know, as we've gone through, I think that Camaro will be our last black car. We've been accused of doing a ton of black cars, but I think coming up in the future, we're gonna have a lot of colors. So we'll go back to black with this car. So that'll be really killer. Behind it is the Ramcharger, your guys' beloved YouTube giveaway. This thing goes in spurts. So we'll go hot and heavy with it in spurts. And then it'll get like, just kind of back burner for a while, but the big block is in it. The cooling system's all dialed. The fuel system from Phytech's all in it. Got started mounting the grill. There's a ton of new sheet metal on this. All the inner wheel wells where we found like good used ones that were rust free, and then Rhino lined them. It's getting all new shocks. We're sorting through getting the axles in it because it has 1-ton axles now. So getting the pinion angle all dialed in and leaf spring mounts in the back. And then it's gonna have drive shafts made. The headers are in, the whole front accessory drive system's in. So Regan has been cranking on this. I think he's starting to look at wiring solutions to rewire this whole truck. And then he'll be putting vintage air in it. So this thing is gonna be like a really, probably one of the nicest Ramchargers as far as being resto modded, which is like restored and modified. He got a brand new steering box in this thing. Nothing has been left untouched. This thing was taken down to the bare chassis. The frame was all blasted and powder coated. So everything from the foundation up. Again, SV Body and Paint came through. They did all the paint work on this. We had to find good donor fenders. I think it's got full floor pan replaced. So it's had a ton of rust repair work so that this thing's completely rust free. And then we did some things too, like this is all like almost like a bed liner undercoating in this bottom area. And that'll protect everything from rock chips and rust. It's like a rubberized coating, so you'll never have to worry about this thing rusting again. Which
kind of adds some style points too.
Style points too, yeah. It is like a 4x4 off-road truck, and it's so nice that if that was gloss black, it would just get rock chipped everywhere. I like it. I think it was a good solution. The truck kind of had something similar when we got it, so it just lends itself to that. But yeah, Regan's been cranking away at this. YouTube giveaway, this is incredible, like the amount of work going into this. And the easiest giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe. And when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we're gonna randomly pick one of our subscribers and give this Ramcharger to them. So that's an incredible opportunity. And hopefully we get to that 100,000, but in the meantime, we got a lot of work to do, so.
Yeah, a ton of work to give this thing away for free.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been kind of like off-roady guys now because this Bronco, this is like from our partner brand, Forged 4x4. So this is kind of a crossover where they want to, see what the interest is for a classic 4x4. So what better one than a Bronco? This one has also been a ground-up project. Jeremy and the crew have been jumping in on this. Junior, Adrian, everyone's kind of had their hands on this, going through it. It's got a ton of stuff. It's like vintage air, American Auto Water wiring harness, rebuilt 302, the bumpers, the winch, all new exhaust system from MagnaFlow, new steering column, steering wheel, all the interior from SOS Upholstery. We're about to get we got some American racing wheels for it. We're about to get some Falcon tires on it. KC lights, all the other stuff is LED lights. This thing is just snowballed into a giant build, but we've been chipping away at it in the background and making progress as things needed. It's coming quite a ways now. I think we have a short list on the glass, on the brand new windshield and new weather stripping. It's getting all new glass. Like this thing is just all completely new. And this will be a giveaway for Forged 4x4. So if you like classic Broncos, keep an eye out. This will be coming to that brand soon. Same thing, that's a forged vehicle that the winner had a choice between that and a TRX. He took a TRX. So forged is actually, this is a Whipple supercharged Jeep, another crazy Mopar product. But because the winner had a choice and he chose the TRX, I think this thing will be up for sale. So if anyone interested in a supercharged Jeep on Dana tons, crazy build. So that's for sale too. Speaking of crazy builds, this is our Chevelle that we bought on Bring a Trailer. So this car is a crazy build. So this is a Nelson twin turbo 427. I've heard claims of the horsepower number on this engine anywhere from like 1,300 to 1,700. I think a lot of that depends on what kind of gas you're running in it. It does have a dual fuel system, so it will switch over in boost to race fuel. And it's all automatic, controlled by the computer, which is all by Nelson. So we bought this car from a gentleman in Lake Havasu who had it put together with an Art Morrison chassis to handle all this power. So it's got like the best of the best everything. We're doing little things, just putting our little touch on it. So we got rid of some kind of old school 5-spoke wheels and got these really killer American racing wheels on there. These are forged wheels, 19-inch, really sticky tires on it now, and we needed that big of a wheel to clear the brakes. This thing has huge brakes. Everything's just bigger, badder on this car. We did some Dapper lighting, which was really cool. They came out with like a pass-through, so that'll feed the turbo. And it's got monster intercoolers. Just, you know, the silver Chevelle was like a supercharged stick shift car. This is a twin turboed automatic car on a chassis. So very different beasts, but both high horsepower Chevelles, this beautiful blue. All the interior's done. We just redid the stereo. Just a really killer car. This will be an upcoming sweepstakes car. It's pretty much ready to go. I think we're gonna do a final detail. When we get these cars, we really go through them. We drive them, we have multiple people drive them. They bring back their notes on what it might need, what's unfinished. Sometimes these cars are completed, driven, shaken down, and as they get more miles, more needs come up, or we do little modifications like this one. We changed the whole grille. We put a whole new grille in it. The headlights, kind of changed the look of the front end a little bit, nothing too drastic. And then we did wheels and tires, some little light interior stuff, nothing major on the car because it was such a killer car, but we shook it down, put some touches on it to make it look a little nicer in our opinion. And this thing's pretty much ready to go. So if you do want to see another high horsepower Chevelle as a giveaway, let us know. This is definitely a giveaway car. We just don't know when. So let us know what you think of this car. This car blew me away with the power level. It drives very different than the silver Chevelle, but it's just insane amount of power. It's unbelievable the way this engine pulls at that power level. So I'm almost glad it's an automatic. I'm usually like, I like a manual transmission. At this power level, it just seems crazy to me. And then our Rivi. This was in another video that Tall Chris Hedge did with you know, comparing the buying experience at Mecum with this car versus Bring a Trailer with the Cuda. So interestingly enough, the buying experience was a little more rocky with this car, but the afterwards experience has been great with this car. Ownership experience of this car has been incredible, and it's due to the fact that it's mostly stock. So these cars were almost over-engineered from the factory with the nail head and the Turbo 400. It's such a bulletproof combo. It's pretty simple, but it's been super reliable. Everyone's enjoyed this car around. It's become like an office favorite, kind of a go-to. People will take this car out on the weekend and cruise down by the beach. Always starts, always drives. Such a killer car. We don't really know what to do with it. I don't know if it fits as a RestoMod giveaway car because the drivetrain is basically all original. And we could start modifying that, but it works so good as is that it's kind of, it's really cool to have this car in the stable. And we're open to ideas. What should we do with this? I mean, we've you know, kind of bench raced every scenario in this car of like something like this, you know, like full chassis twin turbo in that body. Obviously that's like sky's the limit. That would be like a really intensive build, and as you just saw, we're already involved in some pretty intense builds. Or should we just enjoy it as is? I mean, let us know in the comments, what would you want to see with this car? One of my favorite cars in the stable though, and it's kind of the underdog around here because it's nothing crazy as far as like supercharged modern engine, none of that. but really fun car. So that about wraps it up. We are waiting on some more cars to show up, but we have our hands full with projects. Cars are leaving. Unfortunately, the silver Chevelle's gone. That one hits home. We built that car in-house. That was the first one we built in-house. We started in a smaller shop, moved up into here. Now we have enough builds going on to distract me so that the heartache isn't as much. But shout out to Michelle. She's gonna love that car. She had a blast driving it when she was here in town, and I'm glad it's with her in good hands now. So happy to see that. But that about wraps it up. That's kind of the full garage update right now. We did a full 180 around the whole garage. That's everything that's in here, everything we've been working on. So hope you enjoyed it. We'll bring you more content like this, just to keep you posted on what's upcoming, kind of the process of what we go through with these cars when we get them, the little things we change. I know it's kind of interesting to see behind the scenes, like from the way we got a car, kind of what we do to put our touches on it and shake it down and drive it and test it and do all that good stuff that a RestoMod needs. So keep watching and get subscribed. You can get that Ramcharger. I really am fond of that truck. The Ramcharger is going to be a really cool thing when it's done, and it can just go to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do is subscribe. But as always, you can get entered to win the 68 Camaro right now. That's the active sweeps. Let's not forget how cool that car is. And then, yeah, the upcoming stuff is going to be really cool too. So if you get entered to win, all you got to do is go to RestoMods.com, get signed up. You could be driving this or that or one of the other cool ones you saw. So yeah, get entered to win. And as always, keep having fun with cars.